everyone. Do you think we can use water hyacinth as a way and a mitigation measure to clean our lake? Our lake is dying. Lake Victoria is fully chopped. But can we have a solution? Please, let's see how it's going to happen. This is Sustainable Innovation YouTube channel, which is giving us real-time information on what is happening on the ground, how people are working to fight climate change while bringing household income. We are working on sustainable energy solutions, water conservation, and sustainable farming. Today, we'll be meeting the Biogas International team to take us through very possible and innovative ways which we can use to fight climate change, clean up our only lake, the second largest freshwater lake in the world, Lake Victoria, by using water hyacinth to generate clean energy which can be used to increase household income while fighting climate change. Welcome, Enoch, for the session and take us through the process so that we can understand more.
My name is Enoch Owor. I work with Biogas International Limited as the plant supervisor of Dunga project. We are doing biogas production from water hyacinth. We supplement with food remains from the restaurants and also market waste. So our system can work with any organic matter, but since there's a lot of water hyacinth in Dunga or in the Lake Victoria next here in Dunga, so we decided to use it for biogas production to help us in a number of stuff. One, it's a menace to the lake, so when we use it to produce biogas, we are trying to also clean up the lake or do away with deforestation, is also another problem facing our environment today. So when we do away with the water hyacinth from the lake, we are helping the fishing industry because it's a problem to the lake environment for fishing purposes, transport, and many others. Even though it's cleaning up the lake, but it should be controlled, because if it's not controlled, it will be interfering with the lake ecosystem. So we decided to use it for production of biogas. Also, we are not only producing biogas, we also produce organic manure, which is a very good manure of good quantity and good content for our agricultural purposes. So we also try to take away the food remains from the restaurants and also the fish offals so that they are not thrown into the lake. So we also trying to prevent pollution of the lake environment by the other organic matter. When you have that, you are sure of having a good cooking energy, which is very clean. That's biogas, which is preventing indoor and outdoor pollution. Because we know when using charcoal and firewood, you are inhaling other dangerous gases like carbon monoxide and the rest, which is very, very hazardous to our respiratory system and also to our cells, which sometimes causes cancer. Now in Dunga, we had a T-Rex, that's a commercial system which we are giving the women doing the fish deep frying to use. If you look at the women today, our system was removed because of the water increase in the lake. So we were trying to raise the area so that we can build again. So we've not been supplying them with the gas for some time. But if you look at the number of firewood or the amount of firewood they are using to do the deep frying per day, if you do the calculation in a year, you get that tons of firewood has been used, which is a big area of land being deforested. So the system helps in ensuring that there's no deforestation and also for hygiene purposes. Also, by doing that, we're also creating a cool environment because we know these greenhouse gases like those carbon monoxide, when they get to the atmosphere, they create global warming, which is a problem, which is now causing the climate change effect. by using these kind of resources, we are also mitigating climate change, which is now a very big question to everyone, not only environmentalists, but everyone is questioning what's happening to the globe. When you also use water hyacinth, you're also reducing the rate of evapotranspiration, which always takes place in the lake when there is water hyacinth, because it's a plant, it will be absorbing water, then evapotranspiration has to take place, which is normal in any kind of plant. So by doing that, we're ensuring that the lake water is not being taken away through evapotranspiration. In our company, we are dealing with the waste as well. I had mentioned that we use food remains, so this one can be extended to anywhere across the globe. In the village, like I said, our system works with any organic matter. You can use even animal droppings like cow dung, goat dung, sheep, pigs, which is the swine manure, or you can use food remains, because there is no house which will be without food remains. Even in the village areas, you have marketplaces, you have those market wastes which can be used, to do the same. So those who are also aiming for what we call organic farming can also be at advantage with this, because after getting the gas, and now there's what we call the remnants, what comes out from the outlet, which is a very good organic manure, like we saw with the black gold soil. That's an organic manure which has come out from the digester. You get that, get it to the farm, you're good to go, because in agricultural process, the highest percentage or the highest amount being invested is on the manure. When you buy synthetic fertilizer, it's of high cost. At the same time, this synthetic fertilizer you bought at high cost is also destroying the soil profile, which is also another problem. That's why nowadays food production is low as compared to before, because we've degraded our soil a lot. So these ones, when they get into the lake, that is the synthetic fertilizers through surface runoff, getting into the lake through the rivers like River Nyando, Nzoia, and the rest. Those are what now creates the pollution as well. The hyacinth absorbs them. We get them back through shredding this hyacinth, producing the gas, and getting the manure. So we just in the cycle of ensuring our environment is clean, and also we're benefiting from. Like we saw, you get the system, you feed cow dung the first thing. The reason why you feed cow dung the first thing is to get the red bacteria, which is anaerobic bacteria, which will be doing the actual process. This is just pure biological process. There's no chemical addition. So after feeding the cow dung, they start gassing up. You are sure of a good number of bacteria in the system. You can now feed any organic matter. If it's this other organic matter like water hyacinth, food remains, and market waste, you have to shred them, because the system works the same as the human stomach, which you have to chew food first. So you have also to shred them into simple particles or simple monomers from the polymers aspect. Then you solidify that seawater water into a ratio of 1:1 to ensure that it's in fluid form, which can flow, not blocking the way, the feeding way. After feeding, and you have the bacteria inside, it's now the work of bacteria to do the digestion, which will be taking it through 4 processes. This is a very unique kind of digestion. The rest of it ends at the 3rd stage, but this one goes beyond the 3rd stage, the 4th stage. The first stage is called hydrolysis, where the particles or the polymers are being converted to simple particles or simple monomers by the bacteria. Then it goes to the 2nd stage, which is acidogenesis. At acidogenesis now, the simple monomers are converted to volatile fatty acids by the bacteria. Then you move to the 3rd stage, which is cetogenesis. A cetogenesis process whereby the volatile fatty acids are converted to acetates or acetic acids, and you also get hydrogen gas in the process. Then you move to the 4th stage, which is called methanogenesis. At methanogenesis now, the gas, hydrogen gas we got in 2nd stage is being consumed, and then the acetates or acetic acids are converted to methane gas, hydrogen sulfide, and carbon dioxide. The highest percentage is methane, which is around 80 to 90% in the combination. Then you have a few traces of carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide, which in developed countries they do away with it, they filter it, that is. But in our system, we also have a water trap where those other gases will drop. Then you only remain with methane gas, which will be the main gas in the cooking process, or heating process, or even in brooding process, or power generation process. Those are the uses of the gas. It's not only good for cooking, but good for other purposes as well. Okay, there is now the digester, the standard model. This is the inlet. Feed from here. Get into the digester. The digestion process takes place. You collect the gas. The gas comes out from this point. This is the digester. So from here goes to the house. The digester is on the ground surface. It's not underground. So the top one is the gas. The feedstock is on the lower part. So from there, after it's fully digested, you've collected the gas. The stuff will come out from the other end. This is the outlet. So since these people are not doing agriculture, they have just let out the slurry to flow. But if you are doing farming, like this, water has flown out. So it's just a pure organic manure which you can take to your farm for agricultural purposes. So it comes out from here, then it flows here. Now you get the black gold soil. Now this one, the way you are feeding water hyacinth, we know it's a high component of nitrogen. So, but we also feed other stuff like food remains. Actually, when digestion happens, it's just the breakdown of the stuff. So it's just full of nutrients from the feedstock we feed. Like we know, what hyacinth is the best for vermicompost because of the components that it has. Since it's just cleaning up the lake, taking up the nutrients, so it's just the storage of the nutrients, which now we get from here, because the bacteria just breaks it down into simple elements. Then from there, it comes out, it flows out. When it dries up, it forms the black gold soil. Very nice for organic farming. So for any farmer who wants to do organic farming, is the easiest way. So after collecting the gas and you get your manure, you're good to go. The feeding can be done every day, or it can be twice a week, or even once a week. It depends on the amount of feedstock or how you get the feedstock. If you can get it every day, there's a quantity for every feedstock, because this feedstock has different gas production levels. Cow dung is the least in production. The second one is swine manure or human waste. They're in the same level. Then you go to poultry, the third one in the line. And then you have the green waste or the green matter. Then you get to market waste. Then you have the food remains, and the highest is the residual fats. That's the highest, but you can't feed it alone. You have to mix it with other stuff because it might get to solid before it's producing the gas. So if you install the system, we will tell you how much should you be feeding, because this system are of different capacities. Like I said, we have a standard model, which is 6 meters cubic capacity. That's good for a family of up to 10 members doing the all full-time cooking of the day without being out of gas. Then we have extra large, which is 9 meters cubic. That's good for a family of between 10 to 18 members. Not households, but within that household, they should be between 10 to 18, so that they get enough gas for their cooking the full day without getting out of the gas. So these two are of different capacities, so we can tell you how much should you be feeding every day depending on the feedstock. So it depends with the source also where you are getting it. Maybe you are getting it once in a week, so you can collect it once in a week, feed it, and the rest of the days you get your gas still. Or you can do it every day. Tell you what to be put in every day. So if you're getting it twice a week, you can work with the daily input. Then you see if it's 100 a week, or let's say 20 per day, that's 120, 140 a week. So if you can get 70 twice in a week, you're good to go still. So it doesn't matter how many times you're feeding, but the quantity matters. Also, overfeeding also has a problem because the feedstock will come out. from the outlet before it's fully digested. And also it will continue to digest outside, polluting the environment. Like if you go to the other systems, which I'm sorry to say, if you go to the expansion chamber and the rest, there's still some amount of gas being produced in the other systems. That means the methane is still produced, and this methane, it's 4 times stronger than any other greenhouse gas in the terms of destroying the environment. So for us, we tell you how much should you feed so that the system is not overstretched with the feedstock, and also to ensure that there is full digestion of the stuff, so that when it comes out from the other end, which will be by itself, you don't remove it, it's just using what we call the cross flow mechanism, where you feed from the other end, it flows slowly to the other end, it comes out on the side. Now from the other side, where we have the digester, we had the gas line coming in, so here it comes. This is the last valve. The first valve is at the digester. Now you open it, then you open the gas flow line from the burner. You have your flame. So it's a twin burner, you can now both on. So from there, this is now the end product of water hyacinth. Food remains, market waste, animal droppings will give you this kind of clean energy, which is good for cooking, for brooding, for heating, power generation, and also for drying purposes. Yeah, so this will help us to conserve our environment by doing away with deforestation, and also from degrading the wetland. Like here in Dunga, they have the wetland, this Dunga wetland. So mostly they go to for papyrus reeds as a source of fuel. When they have bees, they will not go for papyrus reed now as for fuel. So they will be having a source of energy which is very clean, safe, and easy to operate. This one is also preventing indoor and outdoor pollution. We know when they're using firewood or charcoal, there's a lot of hazardous gases being produced. We did a survey, we found that this one pollutes at a rate of 20%, but firewood and charcoal is at 80 to 90%. So that one is very dangerous for human health, respiratory system, and also the cancer issues might happen from that. So this is I think it's the best option, because the source of material for feeding is readily available. You don't need to go for them, or there will no day you say there's no feedstock, I mean. And as well, the process is very simple. You just have to feed it, then let the rest for anaerobic bacteria, which will be doing the actual digestion process. That's a natural process, so there's no danger to the environment. When it burns like this, it's very simple. Methane burns to produce hydrogen gas and water and CO2, which is very small quantity. So it's able to be absorbed by the trees around, so the environment remains free from pollution. Unlike when using firewood and charcoal, which will be giving you carbon monoxide, nitric oxide, and many other gases, which is very hazardous to the human system. So also the rate of cooking for this is very high. It's not low like when you're using firewood and charcoal. This non-luminous flame is very hot, and it now takes a shorter period, almost beyond even LPG rate of cooking. And this one also will ensure that your cooking stuff are clean, free from those components. This one also will ensure that you don't have to panic that it's going to rain, I'm not at home, so my food are outside, so maybe children will sleep without getting food. So long as you feed the system, there is no day you lack the gas, because it's through the digestional process of those bacteria that you get the gas, and there is no day you'll say the bacteria are now not doing the digestion. So it's a continuous and reliable process. So the benefit of these is for prevention of deforestation. Like here in Dunga, we have 50 systems within the community. These people used to go for papyrus reeds from the wetland. So we you are degrading the wetland by taking away the papyrus trees for fuel. But with the replacement of biogas, we're sure now the wetland is safe, even though it's not covering everyone. So we aim at giving to everybody who can get it. It also helps in pollution, indoor and outdoor, so that our health is at a good point. It also helps in cleaning up the environment. If it's for using water, Hyacinth, it cleans the lake. We also use cactus, like in Turkana, cactus is taken over. We're also using that so that the cattle can also have something to get from the environment. We also use Doda plant, like in Homa Bay. We had a system which is running on Doda plant. It's now killing down trees. So we are not cutting the trees, but the Doda is now killing the trees before we get it. We also use Matenge, those sides, which is now a problem also on the other side. So we use the invasive species, waste from the market, from the restaurants, animal droppings to ensure that the environment is clean. We are sure when there is overstocking, the methane gas will be there in large quantity. But if you use it to produce the gas, use the gas for cooking, the environment is safe. That's the benefit you get.
Thanks so much for watching this episode. I hope you've learned something, and we are together going to take action and find a way using this method to clean the lake. Don't forget to leave for us a comment on whatever you shall have learned during this episode. Thank you so much, and feel free to share with your network. Thank you.